What's up guys, VitalSyntax here, and this is part 2 of my discussion over Crysis 3 with another YouTuber by the name of Storym4chine. I'll put a link in the description to both part 1 if you haven't seen that, as well as a link to his channel, which I strongly suggest checking out. He does Crysis 3 videos as well, a bunch of other stuff that's really awesome. But anyway, this is part 2 of our discussion over weapon balancing, some other issues we have with Crysis, and possible fixes. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys later. So moving on from lag and ping and other issues, what about balancing? What about like weapon balancing or nanosuit module balancing? Do you think that's done pretty well? Or
the only things that really stick out to me at the moment is the Alpha Jackal at medium to longer ranges.
Yeah, it seems like most people want that nerfed in some way, whether that's the range or the damage or the fire rate.
Well, it's both. I mean, if it's got a high damage at medium range, or whether it's just like it retains its like damage at medium range, you know, it's like it's a very difficult thing to kind of beat, even with like assault rifles like the Grendel and stuff. You can get outshot with an Alpha Jackal, you know, all depending on the ping, obviously, because if there's some heavy lag going on, then, you know, Alpha Jackal can win hands down with so many weapons. So I think that's probably at the top of the list for you know, for things that need looking at. But I remember seeing a few videos on this Gauss Sabot sniper rifle thing. I don't think that's overpowered. What do you think?
No, I don't think at all, because you have to get a headshot if they have armor, or I guess if you get a body shot and they don't have auto armor, you get a one hit. But still, I don't think it's overpowered. I mean, the bow does the same thing. And other than the Alpha Jackal, I think that's really the only one I think might need to be toned down a bit. But I think there's 3 that need to be toned up, and that's the Grendel 3-round burst assault rifle, the Takedown, which is the single shot rifle, and the OGR, which is one of the LMGs, because those guns are pretty bad. I mean, the OGR has so much recoil, and it doesn't have like the damage output or the magazine size or anything else to back it up. It's just like really bad all around. The Takedown, you get like 60 bullets when you spawn in, whereas every other assault rifle you get like, I don't know, 200. So you burn through that like instantly. And then the Grendel 3-round burst, just, I don't know, that thing's pretty bad too. At least in my hands.
I did quite well with the Grendel.
Oh, really? Maybe I need to try it again.
Yeah, like for longer ranges. The only time that I'd have a real big problem with that is, again, when there's some freaky stuff going on with the server, because it's supposed to be like 6 bullets. Full armor, full health. If you get 2 lots of 3-round bursts smack on target, then that enemy should go down. And most of the time, if there's like decent ping, the data transfer's going nicely, that'll work. But then there's other times you're like, how many? 9, 12, you know, 15, 16 shots, and the guy's still not dead. In terms of like it being a weighty weapon, I have enjoyed that one. I actually thought the mic could do with a little bit of a buff as well, and I watched your video and you're just beasting with it. I'm going for the head, I'm going for the upper body, and it seems to have a really slow time to kill.
Yeah, it is kind of slow. I think the key with it is to use maneuverability and just strafe back and forth, and never look down your sights and just try and dodge their bullets, because you can be perfectly accurate hip firing.
So it's more of a like buff up on your movement skills rather than the weapon should be kind of adjusted.
Yeah, and I don't know how rapid fire, if that would affect it, but if that increases the time to kill, then that might be a useful perk.
I'll try that, definitely
module.
Have a look at that, because I enjoyed it. I thought it looks damn cool. It's like the majority of the weapons in Crysis, they look great. I think the design, you know, I've always liked artwork and sketches and map painters and things like that, and the design that's gone into this game is just, you know, it's impeccable. You know, it really is good.
Yeah.
And the mic it's one of those things, you think it doesn't shoot bullets, it shoots a array of things. It's really silent. You know, it's something that, you know, my kind of passion for sci-fi, skiffy, you know, I'd be using it all the time, but I would use it a lot more if either the range was a little bit better or if it just had a slightly faster time to kill. So I'll try the rapid fire module and see if that kind of improves it.
Another thing that really bothered me was the pull. Well, partly because I think that you can just like throw it at people and kill them instantly, but the thing that pisses me off the most about the pull is if you have a maximum nanosuit and somebody throws the pull at you, it kills you instantly.
Yes.
That's retarded because there's no like I've been shot by like 20 people at the same time and they're shooting me with rocket launchers, grenades, the Steph gun shooting at me and I don't die, and then a guy throws a pole at me and I die instantly.
Yeah, I don't know what happens to your character model's hitbox when an enemy's coming at you with the pole, but it's all of a sudden your hitbox is like Jabba the Hutt in relation to the size of you. They pick it up, they swing it in your general direction, you know, and you're down, and throwing it and getting a kill when you got max nano suit. That's a thumbs down. I think that definitely needs looking at.
Yeah, I think that what they're going for is like the sword or the hammer from Halo. I think that's what they're trying to do with the pole, but it's so stupid because you're hitting people with like a drainage pipe. I want to hit people with like a glowing sword or this huge like gravity hammer. That's way cooler.
Yeah, man, it's more believable. You kind of accept your own demise just a little bit better, you know, than a fucking drain pipe. You know,
it actually would be pretty cool if maybe in the DLC, because with Crysis 2 they had I think the FY7 was in the DLC, but if they added like a really cool melee weapon like that, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, like maybe stick it in the middle of the map, or it's like the sword of Excalibur. It kind of appears somewhere, and the first person to get to it can go on a streak in a similar way that you'd have access to the pinger,
or any of the other like alien weapons, like the bolt sniper or the Reaper cannon.
So I think all of that was a really nice touch. The fact that they've added these special purpose weapons that are dotted around the map. I think that's a really cool element that makes things really exciting. And I don't really, apart from the switching back and forth, I don't think there's anything that really needs tweaking in that respect, in that area. Because sometimes you'll pick up a weapon and it takes an age to actually get it ready. You know, and then if you want to chuck it down on the floor, I'm not sure if that's intentional to try and make things more balanced, but I think picking things up and putting things down should be like an instant thing, you know.
I actually do think it was intentional because there's a nanosuit module called Heavy Weapons Pro that allows you to pick up and put down alien weapons or the 50 cal, and also gives you more ammo with them.
Right.
And one of my buddies, he'll just use the Heavy Weapons Pro, and I think it also makes you move faster with him. He uses Heavy Weapons Pro and like maneuverability and whatever other nanosuit module you want, and he just uses all of like the power weapons around the map, or the mounted 50, and he never actually uses his real gun. He does really well.
Yeah, I've been taken down so many times by the 50 cal, especially with that tap fire. You know, the real.
Yeah, the tap fire is like no recoil.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's like a hiccup or whether that's an intentional thing, but it certainly helps me out every now and again.
Yeah, I don't mind it either because it's like you're kind of rewarding somebody that's controlling their recoil or their fire rate instead of just spraying and going full auto.
Exactly. That's what that kind of gets me a bit frustrated with the Alpha Jackal. I'm seeing a lot of players that they're climbing very high on the scoreboard, and they might not necessarily be, trying too hard. They're just literally just jumping around, spamming shots all over the place.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned something about jumping about, because that's another thing, is they just bunny hop. And I think that needs to be fixed too. Not just for the Jackal, but for all the guns. I think that if you're jumping, maybe your accuracy should be absolutely just horrible, or maybe like make it so you can only jump once every couple seconds, so you're not just bunny hopping around.
I've often thought that, like, introducing some kind of accuracy penalty for being in midair. I think it's one of those steps towards realism that I know a lot of gamers won't really like, because they want to escape reality when they play, and part of me agrees with that, and at the end, the other part of me strongly agrees with having a bit more of a penalty in midair. It does balance things out a bit more, because when you're up against a really skilled player, someone who's been playing this game like forever, and there's a lot of them around. Like every time I play a game, there will be very, very good players that you're up against, ones that are way out of my kind of level, and they've got their movement down, they've got their aiming down, they've got everything down, and they're just beasting everybody. So having a bit more of a accuracy penalty, I think, would definitely even out the field a bit more. I think those with skill are going to have to still flex and exercise their skill a lot more.
And they actually have that implemented in the single player. I don't know if you've played through that yet, but next time you play through it, try and jump and either hip fire and you'll be incredibly inaccurate, or try and aim down your sight. You actually cannot look down your sights while you're in there in the single player, which is I don't know why they didn't just do that in the multiplayer too. But
the biggest thing for me that helped me out a lot was reducing my mouse sensitivity, because after the posts that were put on the forums about ADS sensitivity and ratios and things like that, I decided to look into reducing mouse sensitivity, and that's helped a lot with my aim. I'm a lot more accurate. I mean, I think it's still, for me, I'd like a little bit less sensitivity on aiming down the sight. Sometimes it's just a little too much, you know. But I don't know how you feel.
yeah, I feel the same way. The ADS sensitivity is actually higher in this game than almost any other game, because normally it's a 2-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. I think it might be like I don't even know what it is, but it's definitely higher when you're aimed down your sights. So you kind of have to calibrate it differently. And if you calibrate your hip fire sensitivity, then your ADS sensitivity is going to be off. And if you calibrate your ADS sensitivity, your hip fire sensitivity is going to be off. I don't personally mind it too much, just because I don't know. I've never really been one of those people that, you know, has to have their sensitivity the same in every game. But I understand that, and I understand that we should at least have the ability to control that. And I think they're actually working on a patch to fix that, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
That's one of the things I was going to mention, is that Crytek, I think, are doing a very good job with the support at the moment. Maybe they're trying to set an example for the reputation that they got with Crysis 2, but we've had, how many patches? Is it 2 small patches so far, and then there's going to be a larger one that comes out soon. And it hasn't even been released for less than, you know, a month. So I think they're really standing their grounds, proving a point that they're not going to kind of succumb to this one patch every DLC like that we have with BF3. Things that could be fixed for the next patch, like the one thing that does frustrate me a lot is auto spawn. Like the first time I ever played the multiplayer, I couldn't find a server, and I was like 5th in the queue. And I thought, I'll go and make myself a coffee. And I came back.
You came back?
I was
50 deaths.
0 for 10. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. And not only is the auto spawn thing a little frustrating, I mean, I can understand why it might be there, and that is that when you're playing a game, play the fucking game. You can't piss about and be AFK and stuff like that. But the time, like, if you die and then you might want to switch your kit, I don't have enough time. I'm like, quick, I want to change my kit, man. This is not the map for the Grendel. You know, everyone's running around with fucking shotguns or typhoons, man. I need a fast rate of fire. I don't have enough time.
It also is in between rounds. It's a server dependent thing. Like on the server I'm running, I give people a whole minute to customize their classes and stuff. But I've played in a lot of servers where it literally starts instantly. You don't have any time to change anything, or sometimes they give you like 10 seconds. And that's actually one of the main reasons that me and a couple of buddies got our own servers, so we could have time between rounds to change stuff around.
Yeah, man, because there's such a big variety of really awesome guns, and a lot of the maps that you're playing will kind of dictate what kind of loadouts you should be using. You know, like Hydro Dam, that's not really the best kind of map that you should be using close range weapons. There's a lot of long range engagements, you know. And then if you have that map and then you have something like Skyline, or what's another close quarters map? Well, you get the point anyway. You know, you spawn into that and you've got your long range kit.
Another way they could kind of remedy that is give us more custom classes. Be able to maybe get them as a reward for rebooting your nanosuit. Because right now you just get a dog tag and a weapon skin, so... Maybe just replace some of the default classes with custom ones when you reboot.
Yeah, I mean, I never even use the default classes. I don't know about yourself. I just don't think I've ever used them. I always go for my own.
Yeah, the only time I ever use them is because I do what you just talked about a second ago.
Yeah.
Is I leave for a second and I come back and my guy's spawned by himself, and it chooses the default first one.
So you're not using them out of choice.
No.
Yeah.
Out of all of the constructive feedback that we've been giving through this, it's a good game, and it might sound like there's a lot of issues with it from what we've been talking about, but if you're somebody that has at all been interested in it because of you've seen my gameplay or Storym4chine's gameplay or anybody else's gameplay on this game, then you should at least I hope people actually played the beta though too, because then they kind of got a chance to try it out. I think there was actually a couple million people on the beta too, so there was a lot of people that tried it.
Yeah, I tried it. The beta was absolutely fantastic, and you know, I encouraged folks to pick it up. I mean, it was free. Anything that's free like that is just fantastic, and the beta really did give you an idea of what to expect with the multiplayer. But the thing is, it didn't really prepare you for just how much more you would be getting. So if you haven't tried this game already, please get your teeth stuck in. You won't be disappointed.
And that was the end of me and Storym4chine's discussion over Crysis 3, at least for today. Hopefully we'll do some more stuff like this in the future. I'll put a link in the description once again to his channel. Definitely recommend checking it out if you love his sexy, manly voice. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.